I got one of the most beautiful downloads to date. I always say that, but really, it just keeps getting more beautiful. So I've talked a lot on here about how I've gotten channels that the most physically accurate representation of God down here is trans people, because they carry both the masculine and the feminine energies, and also they transition their energy into like a different gender down here. And so obviously they break past all of the societal norms, and they do what God calls them to do despite all the ostracization. This also goes for the gay community. Obviously the gay community has they're all part of the same community, but they are obviously different. Gay people are different than trans people. But that's why God gave that community the rainbow specifically, because he wanted people to subconsciously always remember his promise to them, even though like they didn't realize that's what he was doing, because obviously we're going into a time of like healing now and like full vindication for the entire LGBTQ plus community, which is like the most exciting thing in the entire fucking world, besides obviously vindication for Black people as well. But the LGBTQ plus community is the other community down here that has been deeply ostracized, that has been deeply hurt, that has been deeply attacked just for following their calling that God has given them. And people obviously tell them that it's not God, that's Satan, or whatever the hell they tell people down here, which is like, that has always been asinine to me. But God wanted me to say that like gay people are also the most energetically accurate for who God is, because usually, I would say a lot of the gay men that I follow, they have, feminine energy. So he's saying it's like people like that. It's like, men who embody more feminine energies or women who embody more masculine energies. They are, energetically more representative of God, because that is what God is. God is both man and woman. Now, I've been told the creator of the universe is a woman, and that's why women have the portals in our wombs, and that's why we can create life, and that's why they created the patriarchy, because they were like jealous of us and all that stuff, because we're in a dissension period. But I just thought that was so beautiful. That's why God gave that community the rainbow, because he's like, my promises to you will be fulfilled. Like, I'm going to make this right to you. I know what you had to endure. And so that's why he gave that community the rainbow, which is like God's ultimate promise. So it's like God did, like he has been saying like, you are special, and I'm very sorry for kind of like the things that you've had to go through, obviously down here with the just all the things that they've had to go through. The AIDS epidemic too in the 80s, I've been learning a lot more about that and how like horrendous and horrific it actually was. And I've been told, there's just like a lot of stuff down here that's gonna be hard for people to kind of like grasp and grapple with, as far as like understanding how deep the intentional taken outage actually has gone, and God saying there's something with that. So anyway, that's interesting. But this is so beautiful. It's Pride Month right now. I absolutely have always loved people in the LGBTQ plus community, my whole life, and that's why I've been so confused down here, because I'm like, it just doesn't make sense to me why somebody would ever come up against a gay or LGBTQ plus person, because you see how much like pain and suffering they have to go through just to be themselves. So it's like, they must really want to be that then. I don't think they're just like fucking shitting around, and it's like people are, act like it's some like fucking thing they can exercise out of them. It's like they're demons, and it's like, ooh, we actually have something to tell you about your demons. That judgment, ooh, that's actually the demon. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's actually the demon. It was never them. It was never what was in them. It was what was in you, bitch. So anyway, because it pisses me off so bad how people have treated them. So anyway, I'm like, this is so beautiful for Pride Month, and it's just so beautiful. Genuinely, that makes so much sense to me, because like, if you don't know me, I'm a psychic medium. I channel with God. I also channel with 7th dimensional beings. And the 7th dimensional beings have told me how they've done a lot of this like seeded transmission work where they have seeded into our subconscious certain messages throughout our lifetime to prepare us for full freedom and open contact and making things right and making society fair, just, and equal finally for everybody and everything. And that's why they left the rainbow to that community, because they knew that that community was going to be going through some of the most difficult shadows of Earth. Now, here's the thing. We're all broken, right? There's still, just because a community but I will say overall they're much more loving, caring, kind, accepting, understanding than any other community that I've ever been a part of. But there's still like distortion and brokenness within all communities. Like that's the thing too, is like every community has to heal as well. There's a lot of trauma and wounding that needs to be addressed, within that community as well. It's all communities. So this is going to be really beautiful, because I keep seeing visions about how people are just going to view people like that so differently. Like right now they're viewed horribly. They're literally schmurdered over just existing and wanting to be themselves. And people are obsessed with it. People are obsessed with this, like, because I was actually just sitting I went to lunch yesterday with my family, and, my aunt and my dad were talking about Lady Gaga and, like, how she, like is potentially, a hermaphrodite and has an Adam's apple, and I'm just like, who fucking cares? That's what I'm sitting here, like, this is so juvenile, this is so immature, like, who gives a fuck? Why are we talking about people's bodies? Like, do you see how, like, far away we've gotten from, like, perspective in life? Like, how skewed our perspective is and how normalized you guys have just, like, made it to, like, be judgmental towards fucking... It doesn't fucking... Stop talking about people's meat suits. There's a soul in there, Did you guys know there's souls and brains inside of our bodies? Did you know there's more to people than what a body is? Did you know that? What a fucking concept. That's why I'm like, I can't be around these children anymore. These children. Once God has, like, really put that towards my perspective of, like, I'm just the adult, always have been, always fucking will be, and I've just been around a bunch of immature children who get stuck on shit that doesn't fucking matter. I'm like, yeah, gee, that's it. That was the problem. I'm like, oh my God. And their judgment was the demons. So, So it's all going to work out, and I can't wait. I am most excited for the LGBTQ plus community, the Black community, any minority community especially, and of course the Latinx community with all the raids going on and everything. They'll be vindicated as well. I have a special place in my heart for Latinx community. And that culture, I think that it is just one of the most beautiful cultures in the world. Granted, oh my gosh, confirmation burps. I haven't experienced a lot of cultures, but I spent a lot of time around Latinx people in that community as well. And that's why, again, they're being ostracized in this society right now, because they're beautiful. They're beautiful people who work really fucking hard and, like, are literally the backbone of this entire fucking country. And so it's just like, it's insanity what the Matrix has done to us as far as, like, skewing our perspectives and the judgment. And that's all God, that's it. That's his work there. That's his handiwork. He's a real disconnector from his own self, especially during this time, because we're in hell. So I'm like, the dude's wild, but he makes things right. He does make things right. And it says that in that little Bible there, which, again, shocking that there's any truth to it. We all know also that it wasn't supposed to be gay people, that they were supposed to be, reprimanding in the Bible is supposed to be pedophiles, but, they conveniently left that out because they happen to be pedophiles. So of course the people, who manipulated it, of course. So of course they, had to go ahead and change that in the Bible. They had to give it to somebody, guys. They had to divert the attention away from them. So they were like, oh, we'll just do gay people. We'll just say, oh, you're the icky. So anyway, that's all going to come out in our life very soon here in the next 2 years. It's all going to come out and everything's going to be great and everything's going to heal. So happy Pride to anybody who is gay or LGBTQ+. I love you guys so much. In the next lifetime, maybe this lifetime, who knows? Maybe in the next lifetime I will be gay. Anyway, yep, love you guys.